Islam is anything but pure monotheism. Tawhid is, without question, the chief article of Islam. According to Muslims, especially those engaged in doing dawah, Tawhid is the simple and unanimously agreed upon teaching of true and pure monotheism.
This topic is something that all the messengers of God talked about. They delivered this same simple message. It's not complicated.
However, such ideas are delusory. Like Jacob, who thought he was marrying the beautiful Rachel only to wake up in the morning and find it was the uncomely Leah, Islamic Tawhid is nothing more than pagan polytheism dressed up in the guise of monotheism. Moreover, Tawhid is neither simple nor agreed upon, but is extremely complicated and commits one to all sorts of conceptual muddles, doctrinal errors, and practical inconsistencies, which is why Muslims throughout history have stridently and even violently disagreed with each other over matters related to Tawhid, such as whether Allah is seated aloft on a throne held up by angels, and thus excluded from the world, especially the bathroom, which seems to be the chief concern of some Muslims, or if he's everywhere present and closer to people than their jugular veins. And in light of Allah's alleged absolute unity, for which there is copious contrary evidence, Muslims have not and cannot agree on whether this precludes Allah from having a multiplicity of attributes distinguishable from His essence and each other, and that in such a way as to render Allah altogether unknowable, or if He has a multiplicity of attributes, whether or not they are limited to metaphysical attributes like knowledge, life, and power, or also even include anatomical features like a face, eyes, 2 right hands, and at least 1 shin. Because Tawhid is neither simple nor agreed upon, Muslim scholars like Al-Tamimi, in contrast to rank-and-file Muslim propagandists, could say, "The realm of the names and attributes of Allah is regarded to be one of the most dangerous areas because of the fact that it has been the subject of severe and complex differences." In one sense, muddle-headed inconsistency can be a blessed thing. After all, with over 1 billion Muslims in the world, if Tawhid were simple and agreed upon by all Muslims, then Muslims would spend less time fighting each other and would more easily band together and attempt to carry out Muhammad's orders to subjugate non-Muslims to Islamic hegemony. Although Muslims don't admit these problems to potential converts and work hard to keep these facts out of mind so they can sleep better at night, when they're just talking to each other and inadvertently drop their guard, they know and admit these things to be the case.
1.25 billion, and if we, as the ulama say, if we were to spit, if all of us came together and spat on Israel, it would be wiped out. It would be wiped out a long time ago. But we can't even come together in the same masjid. Why? Because he believes Allah is above His throne, and he believes Allah is everywhere, and he believes Allah doesn't have names and attributes, and he believes Allah has names and attributes. He believes Allah has names but not attributes. He believes Allah has attributes but not names. What is this?
While inconsistency can be a blessed thing, and certainly in light of Abu Musab's comment a cause of rejoicing for non-Muslims, rather than holding to inconsistencies that stem from a fundamentally flawed teaching, one that enmeshes Muslims in rank idolatry and all manner of blasphemous and damnable notions about God, some of which I haven't even hinted at, it's far better to simply abandon the fundamental error to begin with, namely that Tawhid is true and pure monotheism rather than a repackaged version of the same old paganism that Muhammad pretended to be doing away with. For that to happen, someone needs to call Muslims to abandon their pagan pretensions to monotheism and reconcile their beliefs to otherwise hostile facts. And by someone, I mean not only me, but you. Over the course of several videos, I will show that the Islamic sources are riddled with problems related to Tawhid, and that Islam is anything but pure monotheism. Although Muslims will no doubt leave comments, their track record shows that most of them are too afraid to actually watch and soberly interact with the arguments contained in the videos that appear on this channel. This means that I'm hoping you, the people actually watching, will learn this information and press it upon Muslims. Of course, any Muslim is free to surprise me by actually watching and trying to respond, but I'm not holding my breath. So for the rest of you, stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss what's coming next as I kick things off by showing how Muslims are guilty of both mutilating their deity and associating partners with him.